Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 76 of the Local to Global series here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, of course, we're moving in. We're well on the road to final chapter, and I think this episode's going to be a pretty good one. I do have, of course, the main event booked, which I did think of for this first TV show in the last episode. I may as well reveal that to you while we're processing here. But we're going to do Logan Wolfsbane versus Princeton Price. And I feel like this one will actually be kind of similar to a certain extent with what we actually did last episode with Mobstar and Tavon Blake Jr. I feel like that's a very similar sort of match type, if you will. Obviously, one member, I guess a lower down member, if you will, of another stable that the opposite person is obviously in a storyline with, currently feuding with. Yeah, that's really interesting. We've actually got 3 more dojo graduates. We've got Gerald Eaton, who looks like an absolute badass, really, with his bald head and long beard. We've got Mark Leon, and we've got Glenn Rock as well. Nice ginger curls there. Let's have a look at all of them. So Gerald is a bulky, big heavyweight, 6'6", 319 pounds, with the sit-down splash as his finisher. Got a sleazy personality, so yeah, it's not exactly a great one either. And he's also got really low star quality. Kind of thinking maybe we don't go after this guy. Don't actually give him a contract. We'll see how the other ones are, because they might be worse, but he didn't look too good. Anyway, we've got Mark Leon, another 24-year-old. They're both 24, which is interesting. I kind of want my dojo graduates to be maybe a bit younger than that. But to be fair, we'll take him. He looks pretty good. People person, 40 basics, 29 psychology, which is very low. 33 technicals, not terrible. But apart from that, he's only got 20 brawling in there as well. Does have really good star quality at 72. He's also only a lightweight, so maybe there's a bit of potential for him to go up in size a little bit as well. But the physical abilities is where he kind of stands out, to be honest. 79 stamina, 87 athleticism, decent power, relatively okay toughness, but yeah, good resilience in there as well. Although I kind of want his resilience to be at 100, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine. And yeah, I mean, he can kind of speak on the mic as well with his entertainment skills. So I think Mark Leon, it's a definite yes. Definite yes for Mark. Kind of got an odd shaped head. It's like a very weird sort of oval shaped head, but we'll take him anyway. And then we've got Glenn Rock as well, who's a little bit smaller, 5'8", 195 pounds. But he looks on paper to be the best. However, he has literally got 1 star quality. 1. I do like him though, so I think we're going to sign him anyway. Purely for the fact that he's got 69 basics, 77 selling. So Glenn Rock could literally be a resident jobber for us once he's kind of good enough to come up to the main roster. Obviously, with 1 star quality, that kind of goes to show that he would actually make a legitimate jobber to the real stars. But he's got 48 brawling, 43 technical, 49 psychology in there as well. Lacking a little bit of the physical abilities, but 41 stamina is not terrible. Can probably get away with nearly an 8-minute match, I would say. Maybe not. Might be wrong. So yeah, I think we'll sign both of them. I guess the question is, do we go exclusive written for both of them? I think I will. So yeah, they're going to want 15,000. It seems like a lot of money to be paying for jobbers, but, well, I mean, they're jobbers at this stage in their career. They might do something big in the future, but probably not. Either way, they're coming through our dojo, so they'll find a nice place down in OWC. And like I said, I think Gerald will decline him, and I guess he can go and see what he can do on the independents. Then we've got a pay rise request here from Charlie as well. You know what? Charlie probably deserves an exclusive written contract. Let's get Charlie on an exclusive written as well. I mean, the fact that we're giving all those other guys exclusive written contracts, and then we've got a guy like Charlie Corner who has legitimately sort of turned his whole career around. We'll give him a nice little pay rise there, $15,000 per month for the 23-year-old. And look at his stats. I mean, he really has come a long way. Very unfortunate that his stamina is also capped so low. Similar sort of deal, but at least his other stats are still sort of going up. As you can see, gaining decent points in psychology. The basics is capped, but at least that's at a 71. Kind of at a 72 there as well, but yeah, really good brawling. Everything else slowly, I guess, creeping up as well. But yeah, I guess the psychology is the most important thing. He's got really good charisma, really good star quality, so we're happy to have California Cool Charlie Corner in the company. Anyway, let's just keep advancing. Wasn't really expecting those dojo graduates. Very unexpected. Either way, it's a pleasant surprise. But really looking forward to continuing on our way, the road to final chapter. And of course, we're less than a month away from getting Aaron Knight into the company. What a signing that was last episode. I know we missed out on Wolf Hawkins, but Mr. Knight coming in, gonna be a game changer. Probably him along with like Logan, Aldous, who else? Logan, Aldous, David Stone, and Mobstar. They're probably like our top 5 that are gonna push us towards, Titanic size. All right, pay rise request there from Jack Pride, who is, of course, down in developmental. Got Antonio Del Vecchio. Not a big fan. And then, yeah, Faith McGee leaving CWA, going over to US Pro. Which is fine, because we'll get Missy Masterson once her contract does run out, along with Mark Griffin. Okay. 3 more days to process through, and then we'll get into this first show. Trying to keep this episode a little bit shorter, because the last episode was about 126 minutes long, I think it was. So we don't want it to be that long, essentially. I do actually have a main event for the Go Home show as well. It's a pretty simple one. It's just going to be Aldous versus David Stone. So a massive match for TV, let's be real. But it is kind of still playing into the whole Fatal 4-Way match. We might even actually do Davis versus Brody on that same show in a singles match, just so we can kind of see exactly what's going to happen. But there is Charlie Corner. All right. Storm Spillane picking up a liver injury. That's really bad, because he's not going to be able to potentially wrestle. Oh, that's frustrating. Let's have a quick look at the medical here. Yeah, 16 days, and we are 11 days away. That's really frustrating, because now we're not going to be able to run with Storm Spillane versus Marvel Malloy And the thought was to have them verse each other at Final Chapter, and then at the next pay-per-view, essentially have them come back together and reform the American Cobras. So we're going to have to put that plan, I guess, on the back burner for a little while. I guess we'll run with their match that was supposed to happen at Final Chapter. We'll run with that at the first pay-per-view in January. It is what it is, but it's just one of those things that adds a little bit of realism. Plans have got to change, albeit we were probably going to struggle for a little bit of match time anyway. So I'm not exactly that fussed about it, really. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of fine. Black Maple going after Ray Cavallero, but again, we're still at war with them, so they're never actually going to accept their offers. Sally Ann Christensen, another CWA women's worker. 36 years old, relatively popular. Does she have any relationships with anyone? Oh, she actually has a strong dislike of Tom Townsend. So that could be a bit of an issue. And of course, Tom Townsend is our color commentator, or one of our color commentators. Let's have a look. They're not actually renegotiating with her, which is interesting. Yeah, they're not actually offering her a contract. We don't exactly need her. So I think with her as well, we'll just continue doing the same thing. So Mark Griffin's actually left CWA now. So with that being said, we're going to sign him. And hopefully nobody else will be in for him either. I'm just wondering how long we go for. I think a 7-year contract is fine. Seeing as he is a tag team wrestler, I think having him be 41 is pretty much fine. Because, tag team matches tend to only be, 12 minutes long anyway. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, he wants 51,500. So there we go. And yeah, he's going to want a little bit more. Oh, I was surprised with that. He's actually accepted 25%. He does have 70 popularity, and he is pretty good, as you can see. Like, he is arguably as good as Davis, Logan even, potentially. Mark Griffin, so it's kind of a weird one that CWA would actually let him go. Very strange. Anyway, their loss is going to be our gain, that's for sure. So, yeah, we'll leave these two women in here. I think I do really want Missy Masterson, because she's obviously a little bit older, a little bit better, pretty much in every aspect. And she's also more popular. So we'll be able to use her as sort of a bit of a gatekeeper for our division. So I think she's much more positive in relations to, the strength of her signing. Anyway, where are we going? We're going to Mississauga for this show. Actually, let's do some meddling real quick. We did a Clear the Air last episode as well, which didn't really work for Graham Gorman. And I also forgot to actually send him away. I didn't actually write that down. So we'll have to try and send him away after this show. Anyway, let's book this main event first. I think we'll give it 16 because, I mean, both Logan and Princeton are both, they're both fairly young. And they'll definitely have the stamina and the legs to go through a 16-minute slow-built match. It's pretty obvious which way it's going to go. And, yeah, we're going to script it as well. I think We will have Jackpot at ringside just to advance the storyline and actually prevent the match from not getting a penalty. So we'll do that, nice and easy. And it would kind of make sense for Jack. You know, he would be on color commentary in theory because he's such a good talker, similar to like maybe a Jericho. You know, everybody loves Jericho on color commentary, and I could see Jackpot being very similar in that regard. Anyway, up next, we're going to have an interesting match. Kind of a little bit unexpected, maybe. But we're going to put Aussie Darkstein up against Zombie Boy. And this is kind of continuing the whole storyline we're running with Mutant and Darkstein essentially going back into the light. There we go. And we'll have an angle after this match with Aldous, Aussie, and I guess we'll chuck Zombie Boy in there as well because he would be part of the angle, seeing as he was just on screen. I guess we can put Mutant in there, but maybe off screen just to advance the storyline here. So that should be a pretty good angle. Continuing the Fractures in the Darkness storyline. So that's post-match. And that's basically just Aldous coming out, kind of asking why Aussie decided to destroy Zombie Boy in their match. Alright, what else am I doing? Let's have a one-on-one match with Yeah, we'll go Jackson. And Jackson can take on Public Enemy, I think. Just because we haven't really used Jackson in the ring in any sort of capacity since the end of the pay-per-view episode. Where we haven't even used him in a match on the pay-per-view. Yeah, so it's been a while since he's actually been in the ring. But he'll get a nice decisive... Will it be decisive? Actually, we'll go Tainted. Just to continue the... what do you call it? The running sort of thing that the Jackson Protection Agency actually has going on. So Tavon Blake will come out, get involved, cost Public Enemy the match. Actually, we could put the title on the line, actually. We may as well give him another title defense. Anyway. We're just going to go for a random tag team match on the show here. We'll go with the Aristocrats taking on the Puerto Rican boys. I don't think we've done this match before. No, we've never done it before, so that's perfect. This will be our storytelling match. It's basically just to get the Aristocrats on TV, because they're likely going to be the next tag team contenders, so we want them to do well. Make that storytelling as well. There we go. And I'll actually chuck that in between those. Like that. I think we'll give the Aristocrats an angle as well. So Spencer and Chester. I really like this tag team, to be honest. Where is he? Isn't it Chester? What's his name? I've completely forgotten his name. James Chester. Don't know why, but I, for some reason, thought his first name was... do I want them to be... You know what I'll do? Let's do this in preparation for next month, actually. Let's chuck them into the storyline. Because they're not going to be versing either of those teams. So they'll basically just get the storyline bonuses, which will set them up really nicely for next month. So yeah, add Chester in as well. I'm probably just going to call him Chester, even though his name is James Chester. But there we go. So that's a nice angle there for the Aristocrats. And I guess we'll probably have them be in a #1 contenders match at the start of next month, I think. Maybe they verse Young and Wasted. That could be a good #1 contenders match. Or we could just go with like a triple threat or something like that. To basically kick off the new year. Anyway, what else do we need to do? We've got... We need to do something for the women. I think we'll borrow a worker up. Let's go Penny Dreadful. And I think we'll just have Amber verse her one-on-one. With maybe a little bit of interference in there by Erin Gray. Not going to cost her the match, but just getting involved. Did she lose any popularity? I think she lost a little bit. Yeah, she's lost a lot. She lost 5 points from last month. Which is obviously, it's bad. But at the same... Didn't I keep... I don't think I did keep her strong, did I? I don't think I did. A little bit frustrating, but at the same time, we kind of needed to do it as well. Just so we can get Laura Flame up to the same sort of level. So we'll make it decisive. Interference on Amber by Erin Gray. That'll advance our women's storyline as well. We'll give Amber an angle. We can actually just cut her angle onto Erin Gray off screen. Giving her a little bit of success there as well. Advancing that storyline. There we go. Alright, what else are we doing? Let's do this. Another singles match. And we'll have Mobstar take on... Where is he? Turk Treneman. Again, still continuing with the same storyline. This one can probably be called in the ring. Yeah, he's definitely good enough. For some reason, I keep thinking that Turk has low psychology, but he has low popularity, not psychology. So I need to really drill that into my mind. Still a fairly new worker on our roster anyway. So for this one, let's go Mobstar. And I guess he can be joined by maybe Papa Swole. We'll just go we can go double entertainment, actually. Yeah, why not? They're in separate storylines. Actually, we can advance storylines. So let's have Jackson be here. Then we'll have Cooper there. And Turk there. They'll all be off screen just so it advances our storyline. And obviously the success will go to Mobstar and Papa Swole. That'll advance that storyline, and it will advance that storyline as well. And we've got 7 minutes left. I could just give Jack Jackson an angle. Who are we missing, though? We're kind of missing all 4 members of... Yeah, let's just do that anyway. So we'll set up the next show. So let's have Aldous again. I know Aldous is already on the show. But let's have Aldous go onto David Stone back and forth for 7 minutes. And this will set their match up nicely for the main event of next show. And that can just go in between the women's match and the Jackson match. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let's go a women's tag match on the pre-show. We'll go Air Raid Siren and... Wait, we signed Faith McGee? Wait, what? I thought that said US Pro signed Faith McGee. I feel like I feel like I really just confused myself before. Oh. For some reason, I thought Faith McGee was coming from CWA. Not US Pro. I thought, yeah. Anyway. Typical me, not reading things properly. But let's go Air Raid and Faith taking on Deborah Young and Selena Svelte. 12 minutes on the pre-show. We'll give Faith a debut victory, I guess. Hopefully, Selena will be the one to take the loss, but just don't know. Just don't know. Anyway, let's do a 10-man tag, I guess, 5v5, and let's go for Brody, Davis, David Stone. Where is David? Above him. Oopsies. Who else? High Flying Hawaiian can chuck in there. Have we got any other real faces down here? Maybe Robbie Griffin debut? Yeah, we'll do that. Why not? Robbie Griffin can debut on the pre-show, and they can take on... I think they can take on maybe Asono, Sumiyuki, Toshiaka, and then we'll grab a couple more heels. Let's go with... yeah, Willie LaRue makes sense. Part of me even wants to bring up... what's his name? But I guess I could just put Glenrock potentially on the on that team. Let's do that real quick. I was going to call up Jack Pride just to be a part of this same team. But, I mean, he's down in developmental, hopefully doing good things. So, we'll just do this match. The winner can be... yeah, we'll go Robbie as well. Give Robbie a debut victory there as well. Nice. All right. I'm happy with that. Let's run the show. We start off with a 67 rated women's tag match where we have Air Raid Siren and Faith McGee defeating Deborah Young and Selena Svelte in 12-10 when Faith McGee pins Selena Svelte with a flying crossbody. Good match. We got Faith with her bubbly babyface gimmick getting an initial rating of very good. So that's positive. And we've also got a pro as well. They receive a bonus when booked to look dominant. That's okay. We don't really do that, so it's not exactly going to be very beneficial at all. So yeah, it's kind of pointless, but at least it's not a negative. That's the important thing. It's not a negative, so we'll take it. And the second pre-show match, the big 10-man tag, getting us a 77 there with David Stone, Giant Brody, Davis Wayne Newton, High Flying Hawaiian, and the debuting Robbie Griffin, defeating Yuta Asono, Sumiyuki Samura, Toshiaka Katani, Willie LaRue, and Glenn Rock in 12-28 when Robbie Griffin pinned Toshiaka with a flying fist drop. That's an interesting finisher. I'm hoping that's like off the top rope and not like a 5-knuckle shuffle. I'm really hoping that's off the top rope. The fact that it says flying really fills me with confidence that it is just that. We've got an initial rating of very good for Robbie Griffin's high energy gimmick, and then we've got Glenn Rock debuting his Rebel gimmick, getting an initial rating of poor. Pretty unfortunate. Anyway, this is also actually bad. This is a bit of a con because Glenn was going to be a jobber, and his gimmick gives wins and losses having a greater impact on momentum. So that means the more he loses, the faster his momentum's going to go down. And then we've got Robbie's, and losses hurt his momentum more than usual. So that's actually like a double momentum penalty, really. A double con. Anyway, we move on to the show. We open up with Mobstar and Papa Swole getting a really good rating there. A solid 88. Obviously, Mobstar's kind of used to getting that sort of rating. But Papa Swole, not so much. So, very impressive. Of course, they're both cutting promos or, towards, I guess, the whole of the Jackson Protection Agency. But in particular, we've got Mobstar speaking about Jack Jackson. And then we've got Papa Swole speaking about the tag team titles and the Texas Express there. As you can see, Mobstar improvising well, and then we had Papa Swole enjoying having the freedom to go off script. Pretty happy. The opening match getting us an 82 rating, so Mobstar doing some good work lifting Turk Treneman, and he does indeed defeat Turk Treneman in 12:05 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. But yeah, lifting him up pretty high. Hopefully Turk will get maybe a point or two just by losing this match onto his popularity. That'd be pretty decent. We move into a 90 rated angle from Amber Allen. Once again, I actually forgot to not script her. To script her. But this time she actually did a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd. And as you can see, she gets a 90. So I don't know, that's got me pretty confused as to what to do, because she has quite often, messed up without a script. Anyway, she cuts her promo onto Erin Gray. Of course, they will be versing each other at the pay-per-view final chapter due to Erin's involvement screwing Amber out of her most recent title shot. We then go into a 70 rated match where we have Amber Allen defeating the OWC call-up in Penny Dreadful on TV in 11:40 by pinfall with a Northern Lights suplex. During the match, we also had Erin Gray run in and attack Allen. Once again, a little bit of interference there by Erin Gray. This time, obviously, not costing Amber the match, but, still getting involved, and it definitely could have gone bad. So Amber this time kind of has her wits about her a little bit more when it comes to Erin Gray getting involved. But yeah, solid performance from Amber, 81 in ring, and only a 19 there from Penny. A little bit on the low side. But then again, I haven't really brought her up much, so we'll have to wait and see with her development. Alright, we then go into a 94 rated angle where we have Aldous Blackfriar and David Stone essentially going back and forth, talking about who's going to become the #1 contender to the Unified World title. And of course, these two, they both say that they're going to be the winner of the Fatal 4-Way. And they, basically argue with each other and essentially challenge each other to a match in the main event on the Go Home show. And yeah, the match is booked, and it will be our main event. And I'm pretty happy with a 94 coming out of that as well. Alright, we then go into a 71 rated match, singles match, where we have Jack Jackson defeating Public Enemy in 12:30 by pinfall with an implant DDT, following interference from Tavon Blake Jr. And we have Jack Jackson making defense number 3 of the CWC Canadian title. So the story with this one is, obviously, Jackson was booked into a match against Public Enemy. He says that he doesn't think Public Enemy has what it takes. He's no Papa Swole. He's no Mobstar. And he basically says that he's willing to put his title on the line to basically show his worth as a champion. And yeah, puts Public Enemy away. Alright, we then move into a 61 rated angle for the Aristocrats. We have Spencer Edmund clearly enjoying having the freedom to go off script. But basically they say that they're better than everybody in the crowd. They don't think their opponents coming from, Puerto Rico have any class. So maybe a little bit, not exactly racist, but they're just trying to gain some heat. Obviously, the Puerto Rican boys are definitely the fan favorites, with Island Boy Apollo kind of being the standout. The fans love him, and these boys are just trying to be that similar sort of character, or they have a similar sort of gimmick to MJF, just thinking that they are way better than everybody else. Doesn't matter who it is. They think they're a class above. Alright, we go into another 71 rated match, this one the tag team contest, and we have the Aristocrats defeating the Puerto Rican boys in 12:15 when Spencer Edmund submitted Island Boy Apollo with an elevated Boston Crab. And unfortunately, Island Boy Apollo was really off his game. So, not great there, but it's still actually a pretty good match. And we might even actually do a rematch between Island Boy and Spencer there as well on the next show. All right, we then go straight into a singles match, a very good singles match at that as well. We get an 82 rated match, and we have Aussie Darkstein defeating Zombie Boy in 12:05. So, two members of Forces of Darkness going at it here, and he defeats him by pinfall with a golden shower. We love to see that finisher. I'm sure you guys are happy to see that word again, the gold, because it might be coming back. Don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but Goldstein might be coming back. Anyway, we move into a 99 rated angle where we have Aldous Blackfriar once again coming out on the show. This time getting into the face of Aussie Darkstein, essentially, questioning him as to why he just beat up one of his brethren in Zombie Boy. They're both members of Forces of Darkness. They're both disciples of Darkness. And he's kind of wondering what's going on. First he's getting up in Mutant's face, talking trash about Mutant, and, challenging him to a last man standing match. And now we've got him beating up Zombie Boy in the middle of the ring with no other members of Forces of Darkness really being aware of what's going on. But yeah, very happy with that. Aussie and Aldous both doing really well without a script, so pretty happy with that. And again, the 99 is actually going to help Aussie get some of his popularity back as well. All right, the main event. Unexpected to an extent. I thought it would maybe get like a 92, but we actually get a 96 rated main event coming out of this show. We have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Princeton Price in 16:04 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. 96 rated main event. That's really good. I knew this match was going to be good, and I think what really helped it was the fact that I did put Jackpot at ringside, because without that we would have got the storyline penalty, and we all know how bad that goddamn storyline penalty is. It is crippling. So I'm very happy that we didn't get it there. We did still get inconsistency for Princeton, and we actually got low heat on the storyline, which is interesting, because I wouldn't have expected its storyline to be low in heat. But anyway, it does advance, gain a little bit more heat as well from this. I guess we probably should have done an angle for Logan, or maybe for Jackpot onto Logan prior to the start of this one, considering he was going to be at ringside anyway. But I feel like we don't really need an angle. It would obviously help the overall show rating, but at the end of the day, if we're giving our angles to people that need them a bit more, it might be more beneficial to those guys, gaining a little bit of extra popularity, whereas Logan's already 100 pop, so he's not going to gain anything out of it. And Jackpot's at about 90 pop, so it's unlikely that he would actually gain anything as well. Anyway, 96, and we get a 93 rated overall show for our third week of TV here in December. I don't think CWA are going to be able to beat that, to be honest. I think it's going to be pretty tough. Pretty tough indeed for them to beat. And it does actually increase our popularity in 55 regions as well. So every region except for Ontario. You love to see it. I mean, in theory, the Go Home Show's main event could actually be better than that one. Aldous versus David Stone. It could be there. And it looks like we actually won the whole... Yeah, we won the whole battle, I guess. We've got an 82 there for US Pro. I mean, that's TCW's B show, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, CWA only getting an 89. So, not looking too good. And it does look like they're not actually using Aaron Knight in any matches. So they're kind of, I guess, already preparing for him to leave. Which is very strange because, I mean, in theory, I would imagine that they would want to just job him out I mean, that's what I would do, and that's what I think any other company would want to make him do. But then again, he might have creative control, so he might not want to actually lose any matches. They did still have a really good main event. They actually matched our overall, well, our main event rating. They got a 96 as well, with Jared Johnson defeating Matthew Keith. So it looks like they might actually be trying to push Matthew Keith up into the main event level to try and maybe replace Aaron Knight when he leaves for us. Be pretty interesting. He's obviously skilled enough to do just that, so kind of a no-brainer. And Jared Johnson getting the win there as well. He's also very good. And it looks like they are actually trying to build up his popularity as well. Gaining 1 point from that match anyway. But yeah, Matthew Keith, as you can see, much better with a 96 in the ring. Yes, they're kind of pushing the wrong person in that regard. Anyway, Casey Glenn picking up an injury. He's only 43 days away, so hopefully that's not too bad. It's only a bruised tailbone. Luckily, it's not like a cracked tailbone or anything like that. But we got a 3.92 TV rating, so nearly just under 3.9 million overall viewers, which is pretty decent. That is pretty decent. Getting close to that 4 TV rating, which I would really like to get. I mean, the popularity is still really good. Obviously, Puerto Rico and Hawaii, we're going to struggle. We're really going to struggle to get those ones up. Let me actually have a quick look before we start advancing. I mean, I feel like now would actually kind of be the best time to upgrade our broadcaster, just to actually take advantage of this wrestling industry being at 75 and rising. I want to have a look, actually, for the Go Home show. If we were to run a show in the tri-state area, if we would actually get more than 16,000 fans expected, because their economy and wrestling industry is so high. Just a little experiment. I might not actually run it there, because it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. I suppose in some ways maybe it would. 96 popularity for Aldous. And David's got... Never mind. Yeah, we won't be doing that. Because David's only got 37 in the tri-state. So yeah, ignore what I said. We'll be running. But I would like to just at least have a look and see what's going on with it. The next thing I want to have a quick look at is our child company. Now, you guys have obviously wanted to have a look at this for quite some time. They're still not actually doing any pay-per-views, which is really frustrating. I don't know. I still couldn't really work out... Yeah, I still couldn't really work out what was the best for us to do. See, it's weird that there's no monthly or TV. See, with this one, if it has an active TV deal, which we do with our broadcaster, all the events go dormant. As you can see, with all three of these, they basically make the events go dormant. So I wonder if we just go back to monthly, if we would still have the TV show. Let me do that real quick, and I just want to see what happens. I guess it worked, but now we have all these events. I guess these are our former events. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if I should just remove all these other events and then activate all these other ones. I might actually do this off camera. I know you guys probably want to see it, but I'll fix this up off camera. But it looks like I fixed it just by going back to monthly. Because the TV show is still there, and then we actually have the events, so hopefully it worked. Anyway, I do want to sort of look at the... Well, I guess in theory I want to look at the actual company, I guess. So let's have a look at its really quick. We're going to have a look at its history. I just want to see if the women are actually involved. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're involved. So what that might mean, and a few of you guys have told me, we might have actually not activated women. So if I go back into... Hopefully we can change it. But if I go back to child companies, product... I mean, I did put... Yeah, we got a medium division. So that's strange why the women aren't actually being used. We potentially don't have enough women. That might be it. I have no idea. Maybe if I go small division, that might change it because we maybe not have enough workers for a medium division. Therefore, the game's kind of freaking itself out a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, let's advance. I'll take a sip of water here as well. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I am glad that we've actually fixed up the events with the TV show, because it almost seems pointless just running a TV show. And it's essentially one show that they're kind of missing out on. We might even actually... I think it's only like 1 hour shows, so I might actually bump that up to an hour and a half, and then see if they'll start to use the women workers as well. But the pay-per-views will be 2 hours long, so we also need to chuck down the 2 dojo graduates down as well, because I guess they'll aid in the numbers if we're increasing times. Anyway, I think once we get it sorted out and the women start actually wrestling on the shows, they'll start to improve. In some ways, it's kind of like a bit frustrating because we wanted them to be improving this whole time, and the fact that they haven't... Well, they have to an extent because we've been bringing them up a lot. All right, there we go. Mark Griffin. Perfect. Ultra Spark looking pretty good. Elmo Benson, eh? Got Drew Danson as well. Any tag teams? Not really. He's also split up from Lucinda Lush. And of course, Lucinda's in our company. I mean, he looks okay, but you know what? He's really nothing special, so I'm not even interested, to be honest. Then we got Jonathan Taylor, the referee, who's pretty terrible. TWA can keep him. Got Tigre Salvage Jr. Very good. Passes on knowledge as well, but do I really want to get him in? 38 years old. Relatively expensive from US Pro as well. I think I do. Yeah, I think we'll just go for the other two. Yeah, the two women. Be pretty good to actually add another two women to the overall division on the main roster. Of course, we just got Faith McGee as well. All right, well, I'm looking forward to this next main event. We might even throw in a few distractions by Brody and by Davis. Again, actually, I don't think we need to do that, actually, because they're already in the storyline together. So the storyline's going to be advanced no matter what. So I guess in that regard, we should be fine. Looks like we've got another new team in OWC. We've got Rodney Rush and US Ace. Oh, and Casey Glenn's fully fit again. Perfect. We got Black Maple going in for Zippy Deverell. And he'll actually go. He'll go because they're not at war with OWC. So that makes a lot of sense. Actually really good. Really beneficial if he's going to be wrestling more. As you can see, he's been very stalled for quite some time. We got Marty Simmons. I wouldn't mind signing him because he is part of a tag team, and he's relatively good as well. Who's his partner? Stevie Stanley. Yeah, I don't know. See, his contract's ending as well, but they're not even negotiating, so interesting. We got Grandmaster Funk. Still wrestling. Still wrestling. Interesting. And then we got Ricky DeColt as well, who's now 40 years old. We don't need to sign him. Let CWA run with a 40-year-old Ricky DeColt and see what they do with him, I guess. Pretty frustrating. I want to keep Marty Simmons in there just to see what happens with him. All right. We're into the show. Perfect. All right, so let me do some quick meddling, and then I want to have a look at the tri-state area. Still no effect. All right, let's go US tri-state, 18,200. So we would actually make more money now running our shows in the tri-state area. That's very interesting. I wonder if any of these have higher importance than 10%. Well, the PSW arena does, but it's only 4,000, so really doesn't make any sense for us to do that. And again, we're not actually running the show here. I just wanted to kind of see what the attendance would be. Pretty crazy. Yeah, very crazy. Anyway, go back to Ontario. See, it's 2,000 less people, and we'd be making a little bit more money. So, something to think about, because the Canadian wrestling industry is falling. The economy's at 29, so it's basically in the bin. It's real bad. Anyway, let's book the show. So David Stone taking on Aldous Blackfriar. Main event, 16 minutes. I'm gonna go for Aldous. I think we pretty much have to for this one. Just makes sense, really. And I guess it would be decisive as well. I wonder if this will actually boost him up to a 100 rating. And of course, I think David lost a little bit as well. Yeah, see, he was up to 92, and he lost 4 points, losing to Davis and Giant Brody on the last episode. Not great. Not great at all. Anyway, the next match, let's do that match between Brody and Davis. The GOAT. Damn! He truly is the GOAT. 95 popularity? Are you kidding me? He broke through the threshold. Yes! Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't expecting that. 95 popularity for Davis. Dude, he was stuck at 87 for so long. Even before this, like this is like a long time ago. Like he was stuck at 87 for ages, back when he was the Unified World Champion. And then he got up to 90, and then all the way up to 95 with that big win. What's Brody's then? Brody must have gained some as well. He's up to 81. This is going to be a good fatal four-way match, man. I mean, it could basically main event any pay-per-view. Anyway, just exited out of it for some reason. Anyway, Brody versus the GOAT. I mean, you guys, I put up a poll the other day. If you haven't checked it out, go and have a look at it. I might give it 16 as well. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens with the GOAT. We'll script this one as well. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. What else shall we do? Let's go a 6-man tag. We want to have Tommy Cornell teaming up maybe with... I don't know who we actually would team up with. Potentially... Actually a tough one. I mean, Hernandez would probably be an interesting option. Maybe High Flying as well. High Flying can go in. Maybe Hocking. Yeah, we'll go Hocking. Hocking doesn't really appear much on TV, so give him a little match. And then we want to go for Charlie and the Rock City Stars. We should be able to go 12. So Tommy's going to get the win. It's going to be open, script. No, it can be called decisive. And we'll have Maddie Faith on color commentary for this one. Of course, Faith No More being involved. And of course, also having the storyline with Tommy Cornell for this month. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me actually just do some quick angles here because we're going to go basic, the most basic angles. So David again, Aldous again, back and forth, simple. I'm looking forward to this, man. This has some real potential. This match, both matches. I can't believe Davis has 95 popularity. That literally blew my mind. I was not expecting that in the slightest. So with that, we'll go Brody and Davis as well. It's all good. Hopefully that'll be a 100. That'd be real nice. I mean, I can't see Davis not getting 100s when for a long, long time he was getting 100 rated angles. Well, no, that's a bit of a lie. He's gotten 100s before, but I guess he was always kind of in that 90 range. Anyway, this one's going to be Maddie Faith onto Tommy. He can be off screen. He doesn't need to be on screen for this one. It's going to be your typical Maddie Faith, similar to Jay White type angle. Old Faithful. And that'll go before the 6-man tag. Alright, so matches. I wanted to give Erin Gray a match. I guess we will. I guess we can borrow another woman and bring another girl up. Maybe duplicate. Yeah, we'll go duplicate, actually. She's perfect. So duplicate will come up, and then we'll have Erin Gray versus duplicate. Four minutes, easy win for Erin, and she's well on her way to facing Amber Allen at the pay-per-view at Final Chapter. All right, perfect. With that, let's go Erin. Just Erin onto Amber, I guess. Makes the most sense off screen for Amber. I mean, it'd probably be better to put her on screen, but it's fine. Okay, what else? We probably need to do something with the tag titles. Suppose we actually need to do something for the jackpot. What I'll do, let's have Jackpot open the show with an angle onto Logan off screen. That'll be pretty decent. And of course, advancing the storyline as well. And then I guess we can maybe just go a tag team match, but let's go for Savon Blake Jr. and Turk Treneman taking on the Crew. So like kind of like one half of the tag titles versus the contenders. Give Papa Swole the victory. Savon can be the loser because I'm not really fussed about Savon at the moment. He is kind of just the bodyguard muscle. And again, we'll need to script that one as well. Actually, you know what we could do? We can maybe do a... We can do a tainted victory. And let's do a botched interference onto Savon by Jack. And that kind of works a little bit better, actually. It's going to tell a nice story going into the pay-per-view. Right, I mean, that looks pretty good. We've got an extra 6 minutes, but, I mean, we've got enough angles on the show, I think, for TV anyway, so we don't even really need to worry about it. So let's book some women's stuff on the pre-show. Let's have Faith McGee team up with Amber Allen. That could be a decent team. Really good team, potentially. And they can take on Ellie DeGrazia and Selena Svelte. We'll give the victory to Amber. I guess we want her to have as much momentum as possible going into the pay-per-view. And then we'll do maybe a couple of 6-mans. Let's do red, white, and blue. So Anti-Canada can take on Forces of Darkness. Yeah, so let's go like this. And we'll give Forces of Darkness the win there. Big win for Mutant. We didn't really use Mutant this episode. Probably should have given him an angle. I mean, I could actually give him an angle with the 6 minutes that we've got left, but actually, I will. I will do it. Let's we'll chuck it in somewhere. We've got 6 minutes. We may as well use it. And for Mutant to cut a promo, it's kind of well used in regards to storylines. So he'll just be cutting his promo onto Aussie. Very simple, very easy. Again, advances that storyline as well. Perfect. So that'll go on maybe halfway through the show, I think. Maybe right there. Maybe after the women's match. And then we'll have, the Brody Davis angle. That looks pretty good. Okay, so the next 6-man I want to do, I think, is... Let's go like this. Let's go Gilmore, Chip, and Taylor take on Sono, Sumiyuki, and Toshiaka. Should probably add them as a stable, but I want to give these guys the victory. So we'll give Yuta Sono the win. We'll make the loser Chip. We'll keep Angry strong. And it will be open, script, and decisive. That should be pretty good. Alright, that looks good. Let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 70 rated pre-show 6-man tag. We have Forces of Darkness defeating Anti-Canada in 12:09 when Mutant pinned Americana with the Tina Turner. Good match. Pretty happy with it. And it's just to give Mutant a little bit of momentum going into his match. Ooh. That's unfortunate. We got to set us into Ottawa for the show. But again, we've actually sold out the Canadian Air Centre. That's pretty cool in some regard. We move on to a 55 rated 6-man tag where we have Yuta Sono, Sumiyuki Samura, and Toshiaka Katani fitting Next Gen in 12:22 when Yuta Sono pinned Chip Martin with an Osono face melter. Good match. Relatively good in-rings already for both Toshiaka and Sumiyuki. Got a 40 and a 37, and they have like 5-6 popularity. And then the final pre-show, we've got a women's tag match getting a 77 rating. We have Faith McGee and Amber Allen defeating Ellie DeGrazia and Selena Svelte in 12:05 when Amber submitted Ellie DeGrazia with a cross arm breaker. And would you look at that? I said it was a good team on paper. Faith McGee, Amber Allen had great chemistry when teaming together. That is perfect. And then we also have Faith getting better at a gimmick as well. Love to see it. All right, we then go into a 100 rated angle from Jackpot Jordan, the winner of One Ring to Rule Them All. And of course, he's cutting his promo saying that he is going to be the man. He beat everybody in the tournament, and he's going to be the man that beats Logan Wolfsbane for the Unified World title. And that is going to be happening in the next episode at Final Chapter. Happy with the 100. I mean, I pretty much knew that it doesn't matter. Him or Logan are pretty much going to be getting consistent 100s. And that's without any sort of bonus from the script as well. So, just to show how good it is. All right, we then go into the tag team match where we have a 69 rated match here. We've got the Crew defeating Tavon Blake Jr. and Turk Treneman in 11:38 when Papa Swole pinned Tavon Blake Jr. illegally using the ropes for leverage. During the match, we also had Jack Jackson accidentally hit Blake. So Jack costing Tavon the match. And unfortunately, Papa Swole seemed off his game. So bit of inconsistency creeping in there. And could have been a 70. We move on. All right, we go into a 67 rated angle from Erin Gray. Kind of wish it was maybe a little bit better, but it's okay. And of course, Erin's cutting her promo onto Amber Allen, basically saying that she's going to beat Amber at Final Chapter and then go on and get a title shot against Laura Flame, which was essentially promised. It was promised to her, but Doc Hammond has since then, in one of those promos from last episode, he stated the fact that for Erin to get that title shot, she's going to need to actually beat Amber Allen at the pay-per-view. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Her match gets a 53, a little bit on the low side, but at the same time, you know, it's a TV victory for her. We'll take it. And we do have Erin Gray defeating Duplicate in 11:36 by submission with a guillotine choke. 60 in ring for Erin. It's pretty good. And then only a 21 there for Kate. But again, she's only a dev worker, so it's fine. Okay, we then go into a solo mutant 6-minute angle, and he manages to pull off a 95 rating. I'm very glad that I did this, because that's going to help his popularity out. And as you can see, cutting some promos, just basically says that he's going to do some really horrible, horrible things to Ozzy Darkstein. And he's going to make sure he knows exactly where he belongs, and that is at the bottom of Forces of Darkness. Very happy with the 95 from him. All right, we then go into a 94 rated angle, this one with Giant Brody and Davis Wayne Newton. They both have respect for each other. They're both, you know, fairly timid, I guess, would probably be a good word to use. They're not exactly arguing or in each other's faces or disrespecting each other or anything like that. They're very cordial. They both respect each other. They basically say, you know, may the best man win out there tonight. And they both kind of allude to the fact that they are the best man. And they both think that they're going to win. They both think they're going to become the number one contender as well. Their match does very, very well. We get a 93 rating here. Potentially could beat that main event. Although, I think the main event could be a little bit better, to be honest. Anyway, we have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Giant Brody in 15:56 by submission with an STF. And boy, oh boy, I have to say, the GOAT is back, baby. The GOAT is back. Maybe to some of you, he never left. But he went through that bad period, came out of it, and then kind of fell a bit to the wayside a little bit. You know, some of the younger workers sort of coming for his spot. Of course, Matty Faith, David Stone, I think they both feuded with him at some stage. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Davis. All right, we then go into a 99 rated angle from Matty Faith again, cutting the Jay White-esque type angle. And again, talking about Tommy Cornell, the fact that he's that old and the fact that he's going to beat him at Final Chapter, and he'll essentially be the final nail in the coffin of the career of Tommy Cornell. All right, we then go into 6-man tag action consisting of Tommy and Matty Faith's stable. Get a 78 rated match here. We have Tommy Cornell, High Flying Hawaiian, and Matt Hocking defeating Faith No More, of course, Charlie, Stan, and Ryan in 11:51 when Tommy Cornell submitted Rock and Ryan Turner with a guilt trip. It's a good match. It's a good match. And Tommy actually has the highest in-ring performance, so I'm very happy with that. I'm looking forward to him versus Matty Faith at the pay-per-view as well. Alrighty, we then go into a 100 rated angle. We knew it was going to be 100. Had to be with David Stone and Aldous Blackfriar. Now these two, they're essentially the heels in this Fatal 4-Way. So, you know, the cordial promo that we had together with Giant Brody and Davis, this one's the complete opposite. They're arguing with each other. They're almost coming to blows with each other before the match even starts. And they both hate each other. And they both, you know, think that they're going to be or become the #1 contender. And as you can see, both of them enjoying the freedom off script. And the main event, hopefully, a 99 would actually be perfect. Come on, boys. No way I called it. No way I just called that. Yes. Oh, would you look at that? That deserves a like. Drop a like on the video, guys. You have to smash the like button for that. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Wow. 99 rated main event on the damn TV show as well. And I called it. Alright, we got Aldous Blackfriar defeating David Stone in 16-15 by submission with a Gloomweaver clutch. And of course we have, as you can see there, great chemistry between David Stone and Aldous Blackfriar. So that's probably the reason why it hit that 99. But that's perfect anyway. They could be the 100. They very well could be the 100. That's interesting. I don't know who's going to win this Fatal 4-Way match. I'm just putting that out there right now. I have no idea. Could be Aldous. Could be David. Could be the GOAT, because he's freaking unreal right now with that 95 popularity. Could be even higher. And then you got Giant Brody, what do you call it? The black sheep in the scenario as well, who I really want to push going forward into 2025. Insane. Absolutely insane. We got a 100 in-ring for Aldous, and we got a 90 in-ring there from David Stone as well. Congratulations, guys. Best match of the series so far. And I can't believe I called that as well. What are the chances? Alright, we finished the show. We get a 96 rated show for the Go Home show. And it actually increases our popularity in Ontario as well. All 56 regions there. Is that our best ever show? I think it might be tied best. I think we got another... I'm pretty sure we got another 96 at some stage as well. Not 100% sure, but I think we did. Curious to check now, actually. So we'll check that really quick because we're getting towards an hour and 20 minutes. Man, I mean, there is no way CWA beat that show. They almost did. They almost did. They got the same show rating, but it looks like we actually won because we're the first article there. Very interesting. And their main event, I mean, that's kind of where they're at their strongest at the moment. It's their women. Brooke Tyler versus Nadia Snow. 99 rated match. Absolutely incredible as well, I guess. But it's Brooke Tyler at the same stage there. And yeah, still there is no Aaron Knight. Not appearing in any matches on the show. So yeah, it is what it is. What about Suzette? Yeah, she's not very good. So it's pretty crazy that she's still getting a 75 from Lauren Easter there. Anyway, let's check what's going on. Ooh, Nadia Snow. Just like that. Getting a 99 rated match, and then all of a sudden Nadia Snow's contract is just running out. I mean, we have to get her. So, next episode, we're going to start the episode off going pretty hard after Nighty of Snow. Anyway, we did it. We got a 4.10 TV rating. We broke 4 million viewers overall. There we go. 99 rated match. Exactly what I wanted. I wanted to get over that 4 TV rating. Alrighty, size. I think we went up to 89 in Quebec. Actually, no, I think we were already there. Yeah, we were already there. So we've gone up in Saskatchewan and Alberta, and obviously these two as well. Got to keep a close eye on Puerto Rico and Hawaii now, and then we'll go up to large size. So we've got to really look out for in regards to that. And then, of course, we've got to do 5 regions to go up to Titanic. 77 popularity across the whole regions in 5 different game areas. Yikes. What was I going to check? I was going to check our history. No, I was going to check our top 100s. That is actually our best ever show. Surprisingly enough, that beats out Warzone of this same year, where we got a 96 as well. Pretty crazy. Pretty damn crazy. And matches, obviously we know it's our best ever match. But again, another match without Logan. That's pretty cool to see. Obviously, we depended on him massively. It's also worth mentioning that his match with Prince and Price at the start of the episode, in at number 7 as well. Crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode, guys. It looks like we're also making a pretty decent-sized profit as well for December. And, yeah, I mean, look at the ticket sales. We're about to get another potentially 4 million, just under 4 million coming in from ticket sales. We won't get any more broadcast revenue because the pay-per-view revenue is what's going to replace that. Hopefully it'll be more than what we got there. So as you can see, we only got 4 million. We're at 3.1. So in theory, we'd maybe get another million from broadcast revenue. So I'm hoping the pay-per-view revenue is going to be above 1 million. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to run our shows on pay-per-view broadcasters. Anyway, hopefully you understand what I mean. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the episode, guys. Please make sure you smash a like if you haven't already. It does help the videos find more people through the algorithm. Don't ask me how it works. I have no idea. But apparently it helps. So please help. And yeah, apart from that, make sure you subscribe. Again, only 50% of you are subscribed to the channel that watch these videos. So make sure you do that. Turn on the notification bell as well. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.